you know, what better topic than to learn how to acquire assets, how to roll over money, and so he's gonna break all that down, you guys. He's total team player on Team Dominate, you know, consistent. Been here what, 8 years now? 8 years. The guy who brought him in quit the business. Right? He's 23 deep in a leg that from a guy that I recruited from my previous job. He's direct to me, but 23 people above him. He's a result of how many exchange legs? 4 exchange legs. So you guys know how it works, right? Someone hits SMD, they give up their best leg, and then that person hit SMD, gave up their best leg, and that person hit SMD, gave up their best leg, and that person hit SMD, gave up that best leg, and that best leg was Matt. So Matt's direct to me through 4 SMD promotions and 23 deep in a leg. So-and-so recruited so-and-so, who recruited so-and-so, who recruited so-and-so, 23 deep, and Matt's direct to me. And this dude knows his stuff, and so I want you guys to pay attention, take some great notes. Matt Chang.
Boom! Big Bad Shop!
All right, good morning!
Good morning!
Man, you guys, we are so blessed. One, being in America,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Whether you're an immigrant or you're born here, you're blessed, right? But 2, you're blessed being in WFG. I mean, how often does a company like this that just literally comes into your life and literally change your legacy? Most people don't look at it that way, right? People come in like, oh yeah, I can make some money. No, it's what you guys have the opportunity to do in this company alone, right? I've heard this, or I've gotten this talk from Nate Ireton, who's a CEO in WFG. He says, dude, it's not just about what you're doing for your legacy, it's what you're doing for everybody else. Right? By you guys being in WFG, you're adding hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to not only your legacy, but to other people. Right? I was having this conversation with someone in G's Base Shop last night. I was out prospecting in Chino Hills. She's like, how do you view the business? And you guys have heard me say a few of these things before. I view the business as, if somebody tells me no, I could care less. And here's the reason why. My family's already taken advantage of the WFG opportunity, right? If something happens to me, my wife and my future son will inherit a little over $2 million because of WFG. That's just being a client. Doesn't include my team that will still continue to grow, that will still continue to go help people and get earning my override income. That's WFG, right? And you guys have the same opportunity to go do the same thing, right? And today my topic, yeah, is about annuities, but I'm gonna do things a little differently this morning. I'm gonna do something that, you know, I think that sometimes we lose focus on. I want you guys to write this down. Dreams are a projection of the life we wish to lead. Dreams are a projection of the life we wish to lead. That's said by the great Jim Rohn. Right? One thing you guys hear me preach all the time. What book are you reading right now? How many books have you read this year? What's your mentality like from reading those books? And the reason that stood out to me so much is, how many of you guys, like, when you go to bed at night, in the middle of the night, you have some sort of weird dream, right? Okay? And it's different than the current life you're living right now, right? You guys ever notice that? Okay, that's your subconscious mind trying to tell you, this is the life that's freaking waiting for you. What are you doing? Right? All the big dreams you have, there's a reason for it. The question is, what are you doing to act on those dreams to make them actually a reality? Right? Like something I was mentioning in the Mosen, I was talking to a few, you know, I was talking to Reggie and Ash. I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to run a business. Right? Just like what Nick's talking about. You know, if you knew you had to be at your job by 8:30, would you show up late? Okay. If this was your office, would you show up late? Okay. I was here this morning at 7:30. And some of you guys think, why are you here so early? Because I was preparing for today. Because I know I'm opening the door, I'm turning on the lights, setting the air conditioning, turning on the TV, getting the music going, and I'm still speaking. Because I know this office still depends on me, right? I know my team depends on me, right? If you have 50 people showing up to meetings, would you ever miss a BPM?
No.
Because what example are you setting for your team if you're not here, right? And some people say, I've heard this from other people, like, Matt, you don't understand, I don't have a team. That's the reason why, because you're not showing up to meetings. That's the reason why you don't have 50 people showing up to meetings, because you keep missing meetings. It's a mentality. Because eventually it will happen, right? But I'm gonna kind of take a detour while we're talking about your dreams. Okay, we're gonna take 5 minutes, okay, something that I was reading in this book, okay, completely random about what you wanna do, just in life, okay? We're gonna take 5 minutes. I want you to jot down every single thing that you can come up with that you wanna do in your life. It doesn't have to be completely specific, but here's the reason why Jim Rohn does this. He wants your mind to wander and kind of think really focused. Okay, what are some of the things I want to accomplish in my life? And it doesn't just have to be financial. It doesn't have to be about how much money I want to make, but really think about, okay, what do I want my life to look like in the next 5 to 10 years? How much money do I want to be making? Where do I want to live? Am I the hero to my kids? Right? So let's take about 5 minutes, right? And I want you to jot down every single little thing that you want to do. Whether it's big or small, doesn't matter. But let's take 5 minutes. I want you guys to just write down everything you can think of. And as you guys are writing down, don't look at me. Just keep writing. Okay, like I said, think about what you want your life to look like in the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. You know, how much money do you want to have saved? Where are you living? What kind of car are you driving? You know, are you starting a charity? Are you donating money? You know, are you tithing to your church? Are you giving, you know, most people, they give, you know, $5, $10. What if you could give your church, you could tithe, say, 10 grand a month? You know, or maybe it's something that, what kind of impact do you want to make on your community? How do you want your family to view you? And don't even think about how insignificant that one little goal could be. No matter how small or how big it is, just write it down. And even for some of us, it could be, you know, what do you want to look like physically? Right, you'd be like Nick and Jenny and Anthony pulling cars.
Uphill.
Woo. I didn't see you out there pulling cars.
Hey, challenge accepted.
We'll see.
Right, just think of everything and every little thing that you would want your life to look like, what you want. All right, we're gonna go 1 more minute. Hopefully the stage don't break. Creaking on me. All right, time. Now, take a second and look at everything you just wrote down. Okay. After today, right, and I know some of us, we have a lead academy, right, sometime today, I want you to take your notes home, review them, and next to each goal that you just wrote down, write down a time frame of when you want to accomplish them. Okay? Something that Jim Rohn learned from his mentor is the reason why most people aren't where they want to be is because they don't have a goal of what they want their life to look like. Right? And that's why a lot of people are just a wandering generality in life. They're just like, oh, I make 50 grand at my job, I'm good. And they're just satisfied with that. That's their like life goal, right? You guys see all those like memes and stuff on like Instagram. Oh, my life goal is this. My life goal is to finish college, get a good job, work at a job for 30 years, and retire broke. Right? But take the time today and really look at, okay, everything I wrote down, when do I want to accomplish every single little goal? Okay? Then you rearrange them on a separate piece of paper saying, okay, this I can accomplish in the next 6 months, this I can accomplish in the next year, this I can accomplish in the next 5 years, this I can accomplish in the next, 10 years. Okay? And the reason I'm having you guys do that is because a lot of us sometimes we forget not only to read our business plan, but to really read and see in front of us what we want our life to look like. Does that make sense? Because unless you're continuously staring at what you want out of life, it's never gonna come into fruition. You ever notice for most people, they just keep doing the same thing. It's a rat race. They're spinning that wheel every day, every day. Get in my car, I'm gonna drive to Orange County, I'm gonna sit in traffic for 45 minutes to an hour, and I gotta sit in traffic for 2 hours just to come back. Right? And that's some people's life for 30 frickin' years. 30 years. I'm like, I could not imagine doing that until I'm like 60. Because you know the reason why? No goals. Right? You talk to people about what they want to accomplish, everything else changes. The mindset changes, right? And today, what we're gonna talk about, we're talking about annuities, but also in that book, right, I get a lot of stuff from reading, and that's how you increase your identity too, is through reading. Jim Rohn in his book, 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness, talks about there are only about half a dozen to a dozen things you have to get really good at in your business. Right? In WFG, really there's maybe really 6 things, at least from my point of view. It's prospecting, right? Second one is phone calls, invitation, and scheduling appointments. Third one, if you can do a one-on-one / BPM presentation about the business. If you can do a fast start, client presentation, i.e. will turn presentation, and what I'm going to talk about today, annuities. Now, to kind of give you guys an idea of the marketplace, okay? Since October of 2010, every single day, right, and by the way, this is a recruiting tool too, every single day, 10,000 people hit the marketplace that you can help them move their retirement account. And by the way, that's the next 30 years.
Wow.
It is a $72 trillion industry. The bigger question is, how big of a piece of that pie are you going to get? And if you don't know how those work, why it works, and how you can move it, you're not going to get any of that pie. Right? Kind of give you guys an idea. Average balance is roughly between 200 to 300 grand. That's the average balance you're probably going to work with. Okay? These people, if you look just in general, statistically talking, 7 to 8 do not have a financial advisor when they hit 59 and a half. And most of those people don't trust a traditional advisor because they think they're going to get scammed at like a Charles Schwab or Merrill Lynch, right? And they don't really trust the bank, right? There are a lot of people that don't trust the bank because it's like, okay, what if something happens to the bank, and but you guys know what I'm talking about. So these people are looking for us. I'll give you for example, one of the pair appointments I did a couple months ago. It's a $456,000 rollover. And she was looking, she's like, I have this $456,000 Home Depot retirement plan. My biggest concern is losing money. I don't want to lose any money. And I said, okay, what else are you concerned with? And she said, well, I still want it to grow over time because I still want to be able to take income from it. Even though she's a next door millionaire, she still got like 900 grand in stocks with Home Depot. She worked for Home Depot for 20 years. But her biggest concern was just protecting her principal, right? So some of the things that I do out in the field to let you guys know on how I'm finding them is just simply asking. Right, Jenny's been on a few appointments with me. How simple is it that I'm asking people about where else do they have their money?
It's easy. He's just the way he asks. Oh, by the way, so how much are you putting away? Oh, $1,000. Oh, and I have this and I have that. Now, do you have any other retirement? Oh, you know, I worked at the school. Did you have a retirement there? Oh, I have this here. And they're just giving Matt, oh, I have money here, I have money there, I have this. Can you do anything with this? Can you do anything with that? Absolutely.
Right? Just like when we talk about the business, closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to be talking, right? And something I'm going to point out, something that that Nick had said a while back. You know, a lot of people, they worry about getting that no. Right? I was telling that to Josh in the Mosa. People worry about getting that no. Okay, let me kind of kind of say something that Nick had said a while back. It's like, don't let life punk you.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally. Like a person telling you no to the business or no, I don't want to become your client, that's them trying to punk you. Don't let it get to you.
That's right.
Right? And I was telling Josh, imagine, right? Josh, how old's your daughter now?
8.
Okay. Something I was telling Josh, imagine you telling your daughter or your kids, if you have kids, right? No, mijo, we can't afford that. No, we can't go there. No, I can't buy you that. That's life trying to freaking punk you when somebody tells you no. You have to take the no to get to the yes. Because what if that one yes, right? I'll tell you guys, from all those parent appointments that led to that one $456,000 rollover, 20 appointments. That one appointment though, paid me $11,000. Do you think all getting through all those no's was worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't let life punk you, right? Like you guys said, have taken the test and failed, right? It's trying to punk you. Hurry up and go pass that test. Like when I'm done today, you're gonna wanna wish you had that license like within the first 2 weeks you got started in business, right? And personally, I didn't get really good at annuities up until probably about 4 years ago. I mean, just in the past, let's see, past 4 months, I've rolled over $500,000. I'm waiting for the last like 30,000 to hit. Should hit this month. Then I can get appointed with a separate company that they have. It's a preferred carrier. You have to put in at least $500,000 in production in 1 year, which is all yachts. So I'm looking forward to that, right? But as simple as asking where else they have their money, right? If you've been on a traditional KTP with me, things I like to do is when I'm getting to know them, like let's say I'm sitting down with Thomas and Janina, some of the questions I ask, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you guys understand money? They'll say a 5 or a 6, right? I say, okay, so today my job is to take that 5 or a 6, build it into a 7 or an 8. Okay, then I ask, okay, so where are you guys saving your money right now? I'll say, okay, we save X amount in the savings, we put, X amount in this account, we put X amount in our 401k, right? The reason I do that, they're mental notes. If they say, hey, we're saving $500 a month, we're putting into our savings account, what do you think that's telling my mind right off the bat?
They can afford an IUL.
They can afford an IUL. But not only that, but they can probably fully fund an IUL to help minimize your chance of getting a chargeback too, right? Because sometimes people are like, I don't know if I want a monthly payment, right? I was like, well, how much money do you have saved in the savings account? Oh, we got like 20 grand. I was like, okay, let's just take a portion of it, because right now you're really not earning anything in the bank, right? Why only earn 0.5% or 1% when you can earn potentially 8 to 9%?
That's great. That's a good way of putting it.
Right? Those are the questions I ask. But then I also ask them, hey, you said you also save into a 401k. How much money are you saving into your 401k? So what they tell me they're saving to 401k, by the way, I use that as a dollar commitment when I go write an IUL. Just show that to them in allocating a different vehicle, right? But then I'll also ask them, how well do you understand your 401k? Can you explain it to me? They'll say, okay, well, I know it goes in pre-tax, I gotta pay taxes, I can lose money, okay. By the way, do you have any old retirement plans from a previous employer? By the way, when you're building rapport, you wanna ask them, what do you do for work right now? They say, and then you ask them, well, how long have you been doing it? If they say within like 3 to 4 years, you need to ask them, so what were you doing before you started doing what you're doing now? Because that's a signal saying, okay, they probably have an old 401k. Because a lot of people don't think of it that way. Or an IRA, right. They might have moved it into an IRA. So that's another thing you can do, right? So those are some of the other things I'm doing. But some of the other questions you can ask when you're out in the field is like when you're gathering all the information and you're getting ready to close applications is, hey, who do you know that's in the same situation as you? Who do you know that's changed jobs recently? You know, who do you know that's gotten laid off? You know, who do you know that's quit their job? Who do you know that's maybe gotten an inheritance recently? That's a big one. I mean, inheritance can be a large lump sum of a couple $100,000, right? Hey, who do you know that won a lottery? You never know. Because sometimes, you know, and here's the reason I'm going to bring up the lottery really quick. Most people aren't ready to receive a very large lump sum of money. You guys ever notice somebody that wins the lotto, they're broke in 2 years?
Yep.
Okay? It's because they're not mentally ready to receive that amount of money. I'll give you a perfect example. One of my uncles back home in the Philippines, he won equivalent to about $250,000 of, you know, US dollars, broke in a year. Can you imagine burning through 20 grand a month?
That's crazy.
It's because people aren't ready for it. But now here, let me ask you a separate question beyond that, okay? Do you think you're worth earning 10 to 15 to 20 grand a month?
Yeah.
Okay? If you are, what are the results? If you think you're worth 15, 20 grand a month, what are the results? Just like what Nick was talking about. Only results matter. Because guess what? Your results are a direct reflection that go into your bank account. Right? Like how many of you guys got a cycle yesterday? Okay. Not enough.
Everybody.
Like you should be putting in work that you get paid every Tuesday, every Friday. It should be an expectation. Nick sold that to me early on in the business. There's a streak last year where if I remember right, I went 3 months without missing one cycle, no matter how big or how small it was. But knowing I was getting a cycle every Tuesday, every Friday. And if you're putting in the work, even if you're doing a $50,000 annuity this week, a $100,000 annuity next week, you know, say a 500 grand annuity the following week, that all starts to compound over time, right? But now once you find it, now it's more, okay, what do you do with it? How do you get them to understand the difference between keeping in a 401k versus doing it into an annuity, right? Okay, so let's start with who can properly explain to me how an annuity basically works? Who wants to take a stab at it?
Contract with the insurance company
Okay, keep going.
that you pay into, and depending on how you set up, it can pay you for the rest of your life. Any money that is over, if you pass away before that money is done, will get given to your family. And if that money runs out and you're still alive, they continue to pay for the rest of your
Okay,
life.
so why do you need me to go on an appointment with you, Janice?
I don't know how to find old money, old 401k. I've got the information that she has 401ks from years ago. She doesn't know where they're at, and I don't know how to find it.
Okay, all she needs to do is call her previous employer.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing. Okay,
If she wants to move it into a new one, I don't know how to do it.
right. So now once you find out that they have it,
What if the company closed though, Matt? What do you?
the company itself, their old employer, the client still gets statements somehow, some way, because that money's still sitting there. Like, I sat down with people where they're like, yeah, this company closed, but I still get statements from the company. Because remember, their old employer, they're not the ones holding on to the money, it's an actual investment company. It's not the actual employer. Just like when I used to work for Costco Wholesale, it was T. Rowe Price. That was the managing company that held on to our 401ks. So I wouldn't be calling my old employer. If they know who was the withholding company, they can call the withholding company directly. And most withholding companies reflect the account number based on a client's social, just so you guys know. They can find them by a social, right? So let's talk about, and this is something I'm working on that Nick did point out to me. I'm working on trying to put together an annuity presentation that you guys that we'll have in the KTP. I just haven't found something I'm very satisfied with, right? All right, so let's start with a 401k. You guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys like the neon stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. And part of my writing, I have crappy writing, so I try and do everything on an iPad, or you guys notice I'm not using a PowerPoint for once.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Right?
Go with the yellow, dude. You probably see yellow better, especially for the video.
Okay. This is as simple as I do it, okay? So you have a 401k versus an annuity, and within an annuity, right, you would typically always have, say, guaranteed floor that is very light over time. So this would be like their floor. Okay. And let's just say we're starting with 100 grand each. Start with this. Oops. All right. So here's a few things. I want you guys to write down the word GRIP. G-R-I-P.
Down.
Yeah, up and down. So G under it, R under that, I under that, P. All right. The G stands for guaranteed principal. You okay over there, Henry? It's like you're picking her nose, dude.
It's something else.
Okay, so guarantee your principal. Because that's one of the things that,
What's the principle?
100 grand.
No, I'm saying,
Oh.
what's principle mean? What's the
Principal means whatever they put in originally,
Gotcha.
right? So if they put in 100 grand, they guarantee their principal of 100 grand. You never lose a penny. And this is how I say it, guys. You would probably want to say it exactly like this. When they guarantee your principal, you can never lose a penny based on market performance. That makes you sound very smart and sophisticated.
Market performance.
That's what they want to hear.
Guarantee your principal.
When you guarantee your principal, you will never lose a penny based on market performance. By the way, you should use that in your IUL presentation. Makes you sound smart.
Plus, if they've ever lost money, then this speaks this is ringing in their ear.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, too, the R stands for rate of return. Okay, I'm going through this so you guys understand the premise, so you understand how it works. Then I'm actually going to talk about how I have my own like little script on how I explain the annuity and how it works. Okay, so rate of return. I stands for income. Okay, so you guys got to remember inside of an annuity, when they turn on the income, it's income for life, building a separate pension. Okay. And there are companies out there that offer what they call an income benefit rider, where someone can get even more money than what was originally planned. Like I still have access to run the nationwide New Heights illustration for annuities. I can run it without the rider, and then with the rider, the income rider. The income rider, basically all it does is gives the client more access to more of the money. So instead of a client, say, getting, say, $800 a month, client might be getting, say, $1,200 to $1,400 more, right? So total, $1,200 to $1,400 versus $800 because of that income rider, okay? The last one, the P, stands for probate, helps avoid probate. And you can add an S under it, signing bonus. Meaning when you help the client, if they need that little extra nudge, this is just an extra tool in the tool belt, that little extra nudge, it's the signing bonus. You can earn potentially 2 to 5, maybe even 10% just for doing business with us. Okay?
Would you put the return, what'd you say for the rate of return was on average was what?
Right now, most of them still mirror the S&P 500, so
Okay.
it's roughly about 8%.
Okay.
Most illustrations that you guys will have run by Crump will reflect between 6 to 7.5%, because they mirror mostly the S&P 500. Okay. So if you really look at it, if you ever have to draw it out for a client, so this would be your floor. There's also your pension benefit, which can be anywhere between 4 to 6% access. Okay. Now this is how I start explaining it to a client, right? So let's say I'm sitting down with Janine and Thomas, okay? And let's say I already know they have, say, $500,000 in an old 401k or say an IRA because they are business owners, right? So the questions I ask them, it's, okay, Thomas, you have this $500,000, you guys don't know exactly what to do with, right? What if I told you there's a financial solution that you could potentially, if you guys qualify for it, that you could roll over your 500 grand into a product that guarantees your principal? So I mean, you can never lose a penny based on market performance. I mean, how awesome would that be?
Pretty awesome.
Pretty good, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Also, too, you know, the rate of return on it has averaged about 7 to 8% over the past 20 years, and we know this by numbers, right? So that'd be pretty good, right? You can also make sure you have income for life, because as of right now, do you guys understand if you took money from your IRA, how long does that money last you? You don't know, okay? What if I told you you can make sure you have income from life for it, like building a pension? Be pretty cool, right? Now also too, it also helps avoid probate. You guys understand how probate works?
Let's just say we don't.
Okay, so helping avoid probate because it's with an insurance company, you avoid probate because it has to actually give beneficiaries, so you can pass on a legacy to your family just in case something happens to you guys. Doesn't get tied up in court or any of your other family members trying to come after it, right? Because I've seen it happen before, right? And you may qualify for a signing bonus just for doing business with us, depending on what you guys want to do if you qualify. But more importantly, the last thing is if you guys do business with us, there's no 800 number to call, no 1866, no 1877 number for you to call. You just call me directly because you guys are busy enough with running your restaurant, running your business. Let me take that burden off. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, if I could help you qualify for that product, when would you take advantage of it? Now or in 5 years?
No.
Okay, great.
What does it take to qualify?
How simple is that? Now, by the way, Nick never taught me that. I learned it on my own. Right? Even though he didn't teach me, he still overrides it.
Amen to that.
Now, how you determine which annuity you write, I ask a few other questions. Okay, obviously you already know the amount, right? I ask them, okay, what is it mainly going to be used for? Is it going to be used for retirement? Is it going to be used for wealth transfer, education funding? What is it going to be used for? And then the other question I ask to kind of wrap it up is, how soon would you really actually need access to it? Those couple final questions will help you determine which annuity you write. Okay. Now, you do your due diligence, take down all that information, say, okay, great, I have the information from you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get back to my office, right? I'm gonna do some homework for you. I'm gonna call a couple different carriers, have some illustrations run for you. When I come back, I'll present a couple different proposals, I'll let you pick and choose. Right? And you always wanna run at least 2 or 3, if possible. Okay, unless you're old school like me and you have access to certain things, I can literally just run the illustration right then and there. Because I still have access to some of that stuff. Like if you were appointed with Nationwide before they switched over to Crump and a theme, you still have access to it. So you guys should still have access to it. I think actually we're the only ones, and Nick. We'd be the only ones that still have access to it. Right? But if you've been out in the field enough, you kind of already know which one to write. Typically for me, I'll just tell you guys my preferred carriers. Nationwide and a theme. Those are my 2 preferred carriers. Mainly Nationwide because there's barely any moving parts to it as far as like crediting and a theme. They're the same way. Voya doesn't do annuities anymore. They sold off their annuity business. A lot of people actually don't know that. They didn't announce that. Well, technically they did. They announced that like, I think 6 months ago. They announced that. Right? Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. It's when you're out in the field, you should be asking those extra questions. That's where you're gonna find more money. Right? You hear from Guillermo all the time. You gotta have a nose for money. Always gotta be looking for it. Whether it's to fully fund an IUL or to find old money. Right? The average American has changed jobs at least 3 to 4 times. So there shouldn't be a reason why you couldn't find maybe a little $50,000 rollover here, $20,000 rollover here. By the way, if you're trying to gun for the big fish, I'll tell you it's not gonna happen. You know why? Because you're trying to go for the big fish first versus going for the small fish. Same thing with your IUL business. Go for all the smaller ones first, and then we'll get you and you'll graduate to doing, say, $1,000 a month IUL, or finding a $456,000 rollover. Biggest rollover I've ever done up until the $456,000 rollover was $335,000. So a decent amount of change. Let's be honest. When we actually talk about the comp, which I'm going to wrap up with here in a couple minutes, the comp is sick. Okay? Talk about adding, I mean, how many guys would love to add an extra $4 grand a month to your income right now?
Jeez. Everybody.
Okay? Okay? What if you could add 10 grand a month extra to your income? Okay, as simple as my presentation is, imagine my presentation, what I just explained to you guys, half the time I don't even use this. I don't have to use this because it's just a straight conversation. I can be in and out of a house in 20 to 30 minutes.
With just the data, the information.
No, I can close in 30 minutes. Right? Because I have the confidence to close in 30 minutes. Because it's have the conversation, see what they want to do. In my mind, because I've been out in the field enough, I've written enough business that I know what to write. I can do an illustration right then and there, show them the numbers. That's how I closed a $456,000 annuity. I showed them the numbers right then and there. They're like, wait, you're telling me my $456,000 will double in 9 years? I'll have close to $1 million by the time I'm 63? Yes. She's like, done, write me up. Right? And I have all the application on my iPad ready to go. But my main point is just asking. I'm not doing anything differently than what you guys are doing. I'm just asking more questions. That's all it is, right? Even when you're recruiting somebody, you know, if Eddie was sitting in front of me in my office and I want to recruit him, okay, Eddie, what are you not getting out of your life that needs to change? And they'll tell me, right? And then I show them how WFG will give them everything that they're looking for. You can sell them your dream and you can sell them the WFG dream. What you need to sell them on is their dream. And even when it comes to doing their annuity or doing an IUL, you're selling them on their retirement dreams. You guys follow? You're selling them, okay, this is how much money you're going to have, this is how much of it's going to be tax-free, this is what you're going to, you know, all the little things. You're selling them on why they need to do business with you. And you use terms like guarantees. You know, you can mitigate both your market risk and your tax risk, right? I think, Jenny, you heard me say that a few times, right? Having an annuity or an IUL helps mitigate your market risk and your tax risk when you take it out for income. right? That's what it really looks like. Now, let's talk about the money. Yeah, we gotta figure this out.
It's like permanent mark.
Something for that.
Yeah. You gotta figure that out.
It's not permanent mark.
Let's use okay. Let's use a simple $300,000 rollover. Okay. If you take 300,000, the average payout to the field, if you look at the compensation grid, is 5%. Okay, if you did 300 grand times 5%, that is $15,000 they pay WFG. By the way, for you guys, that's points. 15,000 points on one app. By the way, full advance, no chargebacks. Just so you guys know. Some of you guys are like, wait, what are you talking about? Okay. How many of you guys are training associate in here? Raise your hand. 1, 2, raise them high, like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 25%. $3,750. Now that could be one $300,000 rollover.
Yeah.
That could be two $150,000 rollovers, $300,000. Doesn't matter. Cumulative, right? But you probably want it all in one lump sum.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How many associates in the room? Raise your hand. Okay. You're an associate. 35%.
I saw that hand up.
Right? Look at this. 5250 if you're an associate writing one $300,000 rollover. Are you freaking kidding me?
$1,500 more from TA to associate by hitting your 330, you make an extra $1,500.
Let's go.
For 300 grand.
Okay, how many senior associates in the room? Just Lupe? 45%. Okay, 45%. Okay, Lupe. 6750.
Yeah.
Guys, can you freaking believe what most people make in a month, you can make on one freaking app?
Nuts.
That could be 2 months' pay.
For some people.
Take home after taxes. That's 2 months' pay, making 50 grand a year, W-2.
If you're an MD, right? I'm an MD. Look at this, guys. 7,500. So, who's like, I was just talking to Reggie. Reggie's like, yeah, one of the clients I sat down with makes $7,500 net a month. I mean, she probably makes like 10 grand a month on a W-2. Right? You do that net, one annuity. Okay. S&Ds in the house. Oh, sorry. This is actually 50%. Sorry, guys.
That's why.
My bad. But even then, who cares?
Taking a little,
65%.
taking a little hair off the top.
Yeah. Okay, S&Ds, 9750.
Ooh,
Wow.
my heart flutters.
Hit me.
All right, now, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys why you want to recruit. This is why I'm like, when I was doing this, and I was like, man, I'm just reselling myself the dream right now.
Yup.
Okay, if you're an SMD, you have 2 associates, 1 senior associate, and 1 MD doing all the same thing. That's $1.5 million rolled over. That's 75,000 base shop points.
Can you say that again?
If you're an SMD, you have 2 associates, 1 senior associate, and 1 MD, all doing the same thing. That's 75,000 base shop points. So that automatically puts you in the base shop bonus pool, right? I'm not even counting that. So imagine just your overrides alone is 16,250.
Let's go.
On top of your 90, no, on top of your 9,750, that you make on your personal pen, $25,970. That's just you and 4 agents doing the work. Okay, if just rollovers alone, that's 300 grand a year. That's only 5 families a month. By the way, guys, they're out there. Everybody keeps asking me, Matt, what are you doing differently? You know what I'm doing differently? I'm in the office, making my phone calls, prospecting, grinding it out. Right? Like, if you guys are part-time right now, you should be freaking obsessed about coming full-time. If you're not at your job, you should be doing WFG. When I was single, not married, didn't own a home, all this other stuff, WFG 7 days a week. I was having this conversation last night on my appointment. 7 days a week, grinding it out. So even on Sundays, when I got off of work at Costco, they even though they paid me time and a half, I worked from 9 to 1 every day, every Sunday, time and a half. After I'm done, it was all WFG. And people are like, dude, why do you work so hard? Because, why would I want to work so hard at a freaking job that's only going to pay me 18 grand a year, 20 grand a year, 50 grand a year, to bust my tail that I could get fired tomorrow? How many of you guys know that somebody put in 150% at their job and they were fired like a week later?
Yeah.
See, WFG, we can't fire you. You know what we want? We want you guys to frickin' win. That is it. We just want you guys to win. We want you guys to win for your family. By the way, guys, that doesn't include all your term and IUL and final expense business yet. Imagine that. I haven't even talked about IUL term, all that. Let's just say, okay, let's just say you're running a base shop that does that, and then you do another 30,000 in IUL and term business. You're a 1 million point base shop. Okay, and what's the bonus pool? You're probably making another 3 to 4 grand a month just from the base shop bonus pool because it's a pro rata share.
Based on how much base shop points? 75,000?
100,000.
100,000?
Probably about 4 to 5 grand.
Yeah, probably. Right
Okay,
there.
on top of the quarterly bonus pool. So that's an extra what? If you hit level 1, it's 8,000, 32,000, plus another 60 grand. That's 100 grand just in bonuses alone. 100 grand just in bonuses
Crazy.
alone. Right? All these other companies say, no, we're better. Forget that.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Forget what they say. I was like, all right, show me your bonus pool. Let's go.
Fired.
You know what I always do? It's always, okay, pad and pen, show me how to make $1 million a year passive at your company.
Kill it.
Passive. I don't write one sale, I don't recruit one person, no nothing. I do have guys that like PHP, FEG, PFS, let's go. They're like, I don't know how. So how could you recruit me if you don't even know your compensation? But now, let me ask you guys, do you know how to make $1 million a year passive in WFG? I know Nick does. I know Thomas and Gina do. I do. You guys want me to break it down for you?
Yeah.
I use your example.
Okay, if you're an SMD, if you're an SMD, you have a 100,000 point base shop. Okay, if your average override says 30%, and you have 9 SMDs doing 50,000 points a month, and your average override is 17%, right? You guys want to know the number? $1.3 million a year.
Is that counting bonus or no?
No,
No.
Oh, God.
that's without bonus, bro.
It's almost double.
Yeah, that's without bonuses.
Because your bonus alone,
Yeah.
you're saying, all right, so you're saying 9 base shops doing 50 direct?
Yeah.
That's 450. And then your base shop bonus at 100,000 for 12 months.
That's 60
So it's
grand.
called 4 or 5 grand. Yeah, so let's say 60 grand a year there, just some
Plus your
base
super-
shop bonus.
plus your super base
Super
bonus.
base bonus at 450.
That's, right?
30, maybe third, no.
Probably about 15 Gs a month, if not more.
More.
15 to 20 Gs a month.
20 plus, yeah. Let's
So
call it
imagine
20.
another 240.
So another quarter mil plus your 60, another 300 grand.
So
So
call-
300 grand of bonuses.
Not
And
including
then if you have a
quarterly.
second generation,
Oh, yeah, which you will.
which you would, because if you're super
At
base
that
or
level.
even 450,
Yeah.
the super team bonus is at 500,000 points.
Yep. I'm
And
not including
bonus, that bonus, bare minimum, that bonus is 10, 15 grand a month. So you're looking at probably roughly
Almost 2 mil.
a half a mil, just in bonuses alone on on the numbers you just said. A base shop doing 100,000 and 9 SMDs doing 50,000. You're making about 2 mil, yeah, you're making about 2 mil.
2 mil.
2 mil a year.
Okay. So why do you think I talk so big about it? That's why I tell these guys over at these other companies, you guys ain't got nothing on us. You guys don't have a proven track record to even show bonus pools. Here we already do. Right?
Well, just think of the size and, just think of the bonus pool in general. You get 60,000 licensed agents writing business and all goes into a pot, and then the performers take a piece of the pot. So whatever your bonus is this year, well, if we double in size, let's say in 2-3 years,
Double the bonus.
just the same production would be, your bonus would be double because twice as much is going into the pot.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
That's crazy.
Right?
I mean, do the math.
That's crazy.
Olson's making $5 million, more than half of his income comes from bonuses.
Bonuses.
Bonus!
You guys,
Damn.
here's the thing, guys. You guys gotta realize just putting in the work and then getting to SMD and then promoting SMDs, or like where Nick's at and G and Gina and Helica and Dan Charlier and June Dela Cruz. I mean, like more than half of their income is just bonus.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're like a Jeff Levitan. You're an executive chair right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting $1 million cycles. $1 million cycles. If I remember correctly, Nick, you can correct me. When you hit like field chairman and executive chair, you don't just override your entire hierarchy, not just 6 generations, but your entire hierarchy plus the company.
Yeah, you, actually, what they do, I think it's at executive chairman, field chairman. It's unlimited override no matter how many generations, so it doesn't stop at 6, unlimited. And then you have a 0.1% bonus, and just that bonus alone, just the bare minimum to qualify for that position, that bonus is 1.1 million a year. Just the minimum production to hit that level. So then as you exceed that level, then that bonus is even more. So you're making $1 million a year just on bonus.
Right.
Just on that bonus. That's not counting base shop bonus, super base bonus, super team bonus, quarterly bonus. That's in addition to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So here's an SMD. Here's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Right. This is 17, 8, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Just so you guys know, for every single company's been around long enough that they understand the numbers. For every 1 SMD you promote, they're going to promote 3. So to kind of piggyback on what Nick was talking about, if you had 9 direct SMDs, you have 27 second generation SMDs. I'll start doing the math. If you have 27 second generation SMDs at an 8%, right? Let's just
It's
say
game over.
Yeah.
Whatever the number is.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But just think about it.
It's independent, you're done, it's a wrap.
You had the,
Right?
second generation.
That's why here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I'm gonna end with this. Don't let other companies frickin' try and punk you saying they're better than us. I'll tell them all day, you guys ain't got shit on
Yeah.
us. Because if you, like I was just showing, if you can't show me how to make $1 million a year passive in your company, 1, you couldn't recruit me, 2, you couldn't lead me. And 3, why would I want to follow you if you don't even understand the comp to show me how to make money?
Yeah.
Remember, we were out on an appointment and somebody messaged you trying to recruit you. And that's.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wrong.
I forget that message.
Wrong
Hold on,
person.
Hold on.
Wrong person. I'll tell you that right now.
Hold on, let me see. I don't know if I still have that message. Hold
That'll
on.
go over
I'll
and
actually
beat
read
you
it.
up.
If I have it, I'm gonna read it to you guys.
He will, Matt will beat you up.
It's juicy. What'd he say? Did he answer back?
I forget who that. I forget. Who
All you
that
gotta do
was.
is just call Matt, like, hey, someone just said this. Be like, what? Put him on 3-way.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
So no, that same guy tried to prospect Anthony via Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, I was with Eric Olson's hierarchy, and I decided to leave because this other company gave me leads and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Did Eric Olson leave? No?
Yeah.
Beep.
And I'm like, you know what I told him? I told him,
That's so true.
I told him, you know Eric Olson's making $5 million a year now, right? He's like, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he ran a WFG system. Because he was trying to point out how the WFG system, how insufficient it is to run our system, right? You know the problem why people they don't have success in WFG? I'll tell you, it's not the system.
They don't do the work.
It's
yeah.
them.
Mhm.
They didn't run the system the way it's supposed to be run.
It didn't work? No, you didn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't even talk about how we have the para appointments. He actually did.
All right. Do it out there.
Anthony, because he hit him up, right? But that's all I'm going to tell you guys is don't let anybody punk you about, oh, it's one of those things that doesn't work. I'm like, bull, when's the last time you made 15 grand in a month? Without a degree. You know what everybody will tell you? Never. Already done it. Right? People think I'm crazy or we're crazy. Dude, pay for my Mercedes cash, money in the bank, got an office, got a team. I got a coach that's making close to $500,000 a year. I'm gonna follow everything he tells me to do. Nobody ever is gonna freaking punk me saying that their company's better than us, ever. Or even a client saying, "Oh, what I got's better." Really? So you like paying taxes? Right? You guys have heard me say that before.
Yeah.
You like paying taxes then? They're like, "Well, no. Basically, what you're telling me, based on what you're doing right now, yeah, you like to pay taxes. I don't."
Right?
But now I'll tell you guys, and I'm gonna end with this. Wait till the end of the month. My other topic, I'm gonna be back up here at the end of the month. My topic at the end of the month is running your business like a business. I was telling this to Ash. I'm gonna blow your guys' mind at the end of the month. You guys have no clue what's in store. You guys think that today was good? Wait till the end of the month. So other than that, guys, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.